Welcome to the first, the last, the Nerdom, and all things geeky. In this episode, we're uncovering the depths of the Penguin, the highly anticipated series that brings one of Gotham's most iconic villains to the forefront. We'll discuss the show's unique take on character development, its connections to the broader DC universe, and what sets it apart from the world of superhero storytelling. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the lore, join us as we dive into the fascinating world of Oswald Cobblepot. Or, like in this show, I think it's Oz Cobb.
Yes. Well, before we get to the bona fides, we're going to go to the bona fides. So, Tom, wonderful intro. I'm ML. This is our little ditty that we call the First Last Nerdom. You'll find us always at home on YouTube.
Yep. And I have the Reddit for the First Last Nerdom. And I promote our stuff there, and I see which subreddit I can be removed from. Sorry, my little dance with Reddit. And then also the First Last Nerdom's branded X, where you can follow me at McAllister_T.
And as always, you can find me on my publication of record, ApeIt.Ink. If you want to see my other musings or other funny things, a little bit more heavier side. I'm also available for a conversation with Tom on X, ApeIt_Ink. And with that being said, we just wrapped up, and we got to do some plugging here we just wrapped the show. You're seeing this later in the week on Wednesday. We're gonna do this drops on
Maybe
Wednesday.
Wednesday sounds good.
Yeah. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever, but you'll see it later in the week. The Pit, where we go into it. But without further ado,
we talk about who is he the creepiest kid ever in movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
yeah, he is a bizarre, bonkers movie we go into. Yeah, for sure. We give it justice. We really proud of this one, so go check it out if you haven't seen it.
Cult classic that needs to be seen more by many people. But yeah, we're talking about the thing that you came here you clicked on us for is the Penguin, which is the big smash hit. I don't know if it's a smash hit yet, but with starring Colin Farrell, it's the new big newness on the Max, and it's sort of their play on a new sort of gangster show, but with the Penguin. That's the twist.
So we threw this one an extra in the rotation. I'm so glad you did. I know you had said, and we both behind the scenes when we talk, perhaps we'll get big enough to have after show or something, and we can have a community kind of talk about everybody's kind of thing. But we all go through kind of like our own little cycles or waves. And you said over the last few weeks that you had made commentary about how you're kind of in a mafia mob kind of mood. And it's so funny that this came and landed on our door in such a unique way. It's almost like they pick up right from they actually do pick up right from the Batman, I believe. Is the
I was rewatching the Sopranos. I started replaying. I've never finished GTA 4. I famously stop. I just go around killing things, and then I get lost, and then I never finish it. I haven't finished that or GTA 5. I promised myself I'll finish them before the next GTA comes out, and then while I'm playing GTA, I'm in the mood for Mafia, so I started rewatching The Sopranos and some other gangster stuff, and funnily enough, I keep finding other people that have been starting rewatching The Sopranos. I don't know if it's something in the air, but yeah, and I was kind of primed for the Penguin, and I know you personally love the new Batman, the Batman. I think you loved it a little bit more than I did. So I knew you would be up for watching this and checking it out.
This was such a wonderful gift you get to unwrap, right? That is quality. I was very impressed. Who knows how it'll go? These modern things, they can totally get off the rails, but I was really impressed by what I saw. for the first at bat for this movie, or this, excuse me, I want to say movie, show, and I'm really really curious, and very hopeful to see where it goes, because what we've only seen one episode thus far. After Hours, I believe, is what the what it's called, and I'll bring that up on the screen here in a minute. But just to kind of go back and forth with you, this one, what do you think? I was not disappointed in the quality that I saw from the first go, and I'm also kind of glad they didn't. Did they do multiple? I thought they only did one episode, right?
Yeah, they only did one episode.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, because see how when they throw out two or three episodes at the start, you're already kind of you already feel behind. Right. So if it's just one episode, you go, I'll dive into it. Let me see what it's like. So yeah, the Max with Max and HBO, there's a sense of quality there. I don't know if it's just a mental thing with me, with starting with like the Sopranos. Netflix had it at the start because they were coming out with some quality series, but I think things kind of got off the rails at Netflix, and they started just blasting out everything. But Max still has that sense of quality to me. And yeah, this is kind of nicely done, and the fact that Colin Farrell is willing to put himself into the suit to play the Penguin, he really becomes the Penguin in this.
He's such a good actor too. And this, I remember I really enjoyed True Detective season 2. That was not as widely received at all, to be honest.
Now, appreciated.
Now as the years have gone on, I think there's been a little bit more kind of coming back over to appreciating it for what it was. But his character was on that, was very good. He did a very good job on that. I don't really care if you like it or not. You can't say that the show suffered for poor acting by Colin Farrell. Nobody would say that, but he is such a different. Right. You see the voice, you see the mannerisms, kind of some of his they just bleed through just a little bit, and then you go and you see like what he actually looks like, and they did a they did a very good job of it not being, because if you go back to other Batmans, it gets more campy and cartoony, like Mr. Freeze and Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, was that Val Kilmer Batman that kind of wasn't very, it is what it is. But I agree with you, quality throughout.
There's something I called Arnold in that Batman that I won't, that maybe not politically correct now, so I'll tell you off air. But but yeah, I think with circling back to the True Detective, I think there's a sense of when there's a sequel, and this is like the second season that comes out, I think there's a people want something different, but then they don't. They want something the same, and I think that was the problem with that second season of that, is that it was so different in a different way that people rebelled against it because it was different, and there may have been a little bit of issues with it. But I think we're a victim of wanting the same but wanting something different. That's kind of weird kind of aspect. But the Penguin, it kind of plays off the vibe of the Batman. It kind of bleeds off in it, but it kind of it gives you something different. And to be honest, I didn't, a lot of times when you have a branch off of like the main character, you kind of miss that, since it doesn't have Batman in it, there's like a physical presence that's missing. But I think Colin Farrell does a great job of filling it with the Penguin, and I didn't miss Batman in this. I was kind of fascinated into his world. And then, as long as you do the gangster world correctly or in an interesting way,
right? Tulsa's another
which
one
they do here, that you kind of get wrapped up into that world, and you don't, you're not looking for some Cape Crusader running around.
Well, I kind of like was waiting for. I was waiting for the Batman, kind of the comic book, unserious side to come through or poke through, especially with, you know, what the Penguin is. And as it goes, some the really good superhero films are able to do the origin story and do justice with it. But this was one where it was very high quality, and I kept like waiting for something to bleed through, and I didn't get it, and I was so happy to see that. And like you say, this is another thing, like horror, like we covered in the pit earlier this week. You have this very quick possibility that if it's not done right, it's gonna come, some kind of jankiness is gonna come through, and I kept waiting for that, and it never appeared, thank God, because I didn't know what I was coming into. I didn't watch any trailers for this. I think maybe if I did, it was like months and months ago, to like where it was practically just stills on a moving, you know, on a video. But I was very well surprised, I should say, above all.
Yeah. Yeah, and I would like maybe in a future episode where maybe you see the bat signal in the background somewhere, just not even you blink and you miss it or something like that, or maybe even Batman swinging in the background somewhere.
Something.
Just
A nod.
just like as an Easter egg or something. But I like the fact that, well, in the Batman comic book and different things, there's almost a sense with the villains, they're waiting in their rotation and they're waiting for their chance at Batman. Whereas in this world, you know, the Penguin's got a life of his own. You know, he's not thinking about Batman 24/7. He's got things to do, you know. So I like that aspect of life goes on without Batman. You know, they're just trying to make their way in the world, and you know, maybe Batman busts in every now and then and he's an annoyance, but yeah, I would like to see in maybe the future where maybe the Batman is brought up in conversation, where it kind of ties it in, but you don't really have to. That's just something I'd be kind of interested in seeing. But yeah, it starts off, the Penguin, he's kind of a kind of a subdued character. He's not as flamboyant as he is in the cartoon or in the comic books. So you kind of you hope for maybe him kind of coming out of his shell a little bit and maybe becoming a little bit more flamboyant in the series. But if he doesn't, they do have some interesting characters that surround him that kind of take up that space around him.
Difference, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, a lot of the talking heads on YouTube they're always looking for an angle to complain because that gives them the views, the money, and whatnot. You can't argue. You can't fault someone for grabbing their bag, but but yeah, the fact that their big complaint about this is that they changed his last name. It's Cobb instead of Cobblepot. Like,
I don't care.
Really? Is that that's what you're tying your hat on, you know?
Yeah, and you know, it's so funny you say that, because increasingly more so, not only do I if it's something that I'm really looking forward to and I don't want to be disappointed, and unless I really have respect for your channel, that I really want to I want to risk hearing what you have to say about it, what I found myself doing is putting myself more distance between myself and Chattering Class or Talking Heads or whatever. Anything outside of like a Jeremy Johns, like where you're literally in and out in under 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes, or somewhere in between, to like where I just want to know, do I pay attention to this or not? But you know, like outside, I stay away from the Chattering Class. So if that's the worst that can be dragged up against this, we're in great territory, and I'm really really happy to see that there's something for me to pay attention to. You know, as it were, this is a good matchup. I love they don't, just like you said, they don't do the dangling the Batman keys in front of you. They did it perfectly. They underlayered it at the very first shot when you're brought into this world. There's the theme that is it definitely evoked. I think probably it hit harder for me because I was like, you know, you know, like just enough to not have it be the thing that this is something I'll say this is something the CW, when it was hitting on all cylinders, did very well. They played those corners perfectly. The boundaries and layers were done. Now, as things went on, it got kind of cookie cutter, and it was what it was. But for that, this is a very perfect, high quality intro. And again, I agree with you with the thing. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I was always more of a Marvel guy, whereas I wasn't quite as much of a DC. But in the DC world, if I had to pick a favorite, of course it would be John Constantine. But I always loved Batman as well. Batman was always cool. But Batman wasn't as precious to me. Like I didn't mind people doing things, and with Hollywood, obviously they're got to put their little spin on it, so that you see variations of things. Like I was kind of a fan of the Gotham series that they had a few years back, where it was like Gotham before Batman became Batman,
right?
And in that one, they had a young Cobblepot that was sort of an emo version of the Penguin.
I remember that.
They had. Yeah. I kind of disconnected with that show because they later in the further they got into the seasons, it just became like a where they were shooting like hundreds of cops every episode, and that just kind of hit me wrong for some reason. How many cops? How many cops are they going to chew through each episode? But yeah, and the story kind of got muddled. But I really don't mind the variations of the Penguin. Like I think they also have a new animated Batman series where they changed Ginger's gasp on the Penguin. He's now a woman. But yeah, I don't really, as long as the writing's there, I don't mind that stuff. Especially DC, like I said, it's not as precious to me. Maybe if it was something like Marvel, I would have a little bit more of a say and kind of a disgruntled view of it. But yeah, I think they got the Penguin right here. I mean, he looks interesting. If they had made him look like, if Colin Farrell without the makeup was the Penguin, that would be kind of, you'd say, no, that's not my Penguin. But he knows how to live in the role and become what he's doing or acting as, and he really embodies the Penguin. Like you said, Colin kind of bleeds through occasionally in the Penguin, but for the most part, he's a believable character. You don't really see Colin in that.
But only ever to the benefit of the whole thing, in a positive way, not in a negative way that takes away or subtracts at all. And I was going to say, I'm still going through so I don't really have anything tremendous to say about that animated one. Other than I dig the aesthetics of it, and it works for me more than it doesn't. But that's a tale for another day. They do it very well, and just the level of creepiness and kind of henchmen. Even the aesthetics around the city, it really places you in the trashy, shitty part of town, like where you would have something untoward going on, criminal.
And he starts to build his criminal empire in this episode. He brings on a young Victor into his sort of crime syndicate of two. He was about to. The kid was kind of trying to jack his wheels off of his car, and Penguin shoots at him. But he becomes endeared to the Penguin because he has a little bit of a stutter, and I guess the disability kind of enamors the Penguin into maybe bringing him under his wing, so to speak. Haha, he's a Penguin. But yeah, Victor, the character of Victor was interesting. It'll be interesting to see him kind of spreading his wings a little bit and becoming an interesting character in and of himself.
Yeah, shame on me. I didn't even bring him up. The Victor, Mr. Felice is a very good actor for it too, as well.
Yeah, yeah. There's some pretty decent actors in this. Yeah.
Yeah, very good, well-rounded cast, I would say, from what I've seen. It all fits very well to opening scenes of what happens to the Falco, whatever dies or whatever, and
Falco, yeah.
yeah, and then it's his son, and then kind of like dirtball, and then all of a sudden, boom, yeah, he gets to whacking people.
Yeah, it has the aspect of say Breaking Bad of oh well, how are they going to get out of this next kerfuffle? The Penguin isn't sometimes is a bit of a hothead and will kill without thinking, and then he has to then think of a way to get out of the situation. So it's kind of got that aspect of kind of rolling by the seat of your pants, trying to get out of hairy situations. So yeah, the crime syndicate or that isn't built overnight. It's sort of the Penguin at his lowest, and he's trying to build his criminal empire. So it'll be interesting to see how things progress. I don't know how much Matt Reeves is involved. Obviously, he was the writer, and what's he the well, he was the director, but did he also wrote it too, right?
I believe you're right. Yeah,
the Batman.
Yeah, I'll look it up here in a minute, but I believe so, off the cuff. Yeah, and I was going to say too, this is where the James Gunn DC and the this co-president, co-captain, whatever. I'm not saying that I just can't remember the guy's name, but this movie or wherever we go with this series, this is going to have connective tissue with Batman 2. And then potentially also rolls up, I think, summer next year. We didn't really talk about it, or we haven't talked about it in a long time. And this is where I would like to, and we're probably coming up toward the end here while we kind of talk about news around the world of DC and what's going on. Superman, I think, is set to come out next summer, I think. So that'll be a whole other chapter or layer of
I think by then Superman will get his boots on at that point. As you see the big meme with him putting his boots on, but he'll have his boots on by then, by next summer, and be ready to fly out.
I think if Warner and Max and all the wonderful people over there, Zaslav land, if they if this is a portends to like what we're going to be going into the future for DC, I have very high hopes. And of course we'll let these things roll down as they were, but like it's just me being a fan and wanting to have good quality things to go look forward to, either watch weekly on a small screen or upcoming on the big screen. We both like Batman. I think I enjoyed it a little bit more than you did, but like you said at the top, but it kind of also take it if I was watching through, and I think I acknowledged too, had I watched all 3 hours or whatever monster, God, holy crap, it was big. All 3 hours at one go, I probably would not have had the warm experience that I had. I cut it up into more manageable chunks, and the kiddos liked it, so that's always good. But yeah, this is out now. I'm looking forward to like maybe doing because we do the first.
Yep.
We'll definitely probably pick up the last one that we'll see this one, and maybe we'll pick up somewhere in between and talk about it.
Yeah, and the Batman is near and dear to our hearts on this channel because it gave us our first strike on our channel because of that. Because we learned very quickly Warner Brothers doesn't like us playing their stuff. So yeah, it didn't keep us from talking about it. But yeah, now I did have to say that the Penguin made me reminded me of how Benedict Cumberbatch says Penguin, so it's good thing that he's not in the show because he wouldn't be able to say the Penguin's name. I have a little video there to refresh people's memory if they don't remember this meme.
Is penguins, crested penguins, parent penguin heading home. So why are these woodlands so attractive to penguins?
penguins.
That's
So yeah, when I
hilarious.
was getting ready to watch this show, I had fun saying penguins. Yeah, I just want to give that on to you out there in the audience. Next time you think of penguins, say penguins instead.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, so I think that's a big, strong recommend. Of course, we would really, really love it. We'll really appreciate it if you could subscribe to our channel. This little thing we do will always remain free, as I like to say, and you can get a first front row ticket if you do subscribe. And go check out our last one, The Pit, as well as the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. We had a lot of fun doing that one, and I'll let you run into.
Yep. And I probably won't be promoting this on the HBO Max subreddit. I think I was banned for that for that one.
We'll find it.
But I might find somewhere to post it on Reddit somewhere. But yeah, I also have the X at McAllister_T, where I just mainly promote our stuff, and I've been picking up a few followers here and there. I don't know if they're legit or not, but
say
hey.
hi. Say hi to Tom. He's out there doing the hard work for us, doing the Lord's work as it goes. You can find me on ApeIt.Ink, my publication of record, where I cover heavier things, current events, that kind of thing, entertainment, catches my fancy. Also available on X if you want to have a conversation between me and Tom at ApeIt_Ink. And with that, I think we're coming up to the very end of the show here, and I'll go from there. I'll throw us back here in a talk mode here, and then we'll say goodbye to the folks out there. But
I don't want to say goodbye.
Right.
Hey, out in the audience there, if you have the recommendation. I thought we were.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Really, it was a hard stop there. I didn't realize. But no, I was just gonna say like and subscribe, and then in the comments if you have any particular favorite DC adaptation, no matter how old or new, just let us know what your favorite is.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sorry about that, Tom.
No problem.
All right.
Now play us out. Get us out of here. Nerd out.
Fantasy and sci-fi trends.